premises.
I left a couple nothing things on your desk here. I left a bill and a couple nothing things on your desk for you.
You made any date for your cable?
I haven't heard back from the guy, waiting for the paperwork. I've emailed him back and forth and they're doing up the paperwork.
It's certified?
What's that?
No, she's talking this cable.
Oh, no, I haven't got to that yet.
Oh,
At some point.
I,
At some point.
emailed Katie that, let's not wait on a late laptop for
Oh.
on.
Don't wait on that, but. Get that figured out, but.
I couldn't find your email address when I was looking for it, so.
Oh, Ernie, right?
Yeah,
Yep, I'll
Jennifer.
get it to him.
yeah, thank you.
It is 6:30, so I call the meeting of the select board to order. So we need a minute. So we have the non-public minutes from February 13th. Do you have a motion to approve them?
I make a motion to approve them.
I second the motion.
Any corrections or changes? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
This would be the second public one. Same thing, pretty much.
Right. So we have the
The
non-public,
24th non-public?
no, the 24th, right, do you wanna, let's hear this one
This
first?
is the February 13th one.
Okay.
Except on the 13th, there were only two here present. Tamara had already left to go to her dinner or something.
Yeah, I was in New Jersey for work.
Okay, so then we have the non-public minutes from February 24th. Do you have any corrections or changes? Do you have a motion to approve them?
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
All in
February.
favor?
Aye.
February 20th.
And then the ones from the 24th, I just found two typos.
The actual meeting.
There's one. Let's leave that.
Do you have
Well, we
the
haven't
board
talked
with
about
Lyme?
those yet.
Okay, okay.
Did you get that with Lyme?
Yeah, line and feedback.
Can I
ask you, when you do
non-public sessions, there is a form that's supposed to be filled out. Does that also get filled out with your typed minutes?
I'm not aware of any forms to do.
There are forms, but they're not required,
As long as you follow procedure.
as long as you follow procedure and list everything appropriately.
This one is like,
So the 24th you have to sign, right? Non-public.
it's right here.
She's got that.
Oh, okay.
And that's just a legal welfare case. But
Right.
Yep.
the whole topography, I think it's best.
Right. Okay, so the minutes for the February 24th meeting, we have two typos. Line should be like and feedback should be feedback. And I thought on the,
Where are those to that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Right here's the line,
line,
is right on,
the paragraph about the poll license. The board would like more time rather than line.
she was thinking coronavirus, line to go with that.
No, it's just,
And then down at the
it has
bottom,
spell check, you need to put,
no, it's a word.
And down
Down
at the bottom, it
it's-
says feet instead of,
and that's a word too.
yes, it is.
And then on the next page, the third from the last paragraph. The paragraph that starts with non-sheltering, will get information. I think we're talking about the regulations regarding tearing down buildings and the proper procedures to post.
Suppose, yeah.
So specifying that it's the regulations.
Relevant information on towing down house. Yeah, information on regulations pertaining.
To, right, to tearing down a house and the proper procedures to do for distribution and posting.
Regulations for the proper procedure.
Pertaining to.
And regulations.
Regulations, right.
Did that
get imposed because of the mandatory zoning stuff?
No, it has nothing to do with that.
I thought we could always, I don't know, you can't just tear a building down?
If you tear a building down, it has to be asbestos checked and mitigated.
Through DES,
Any,
Oh,
any building.
you can't just tear it down and burn stuff, which is what happened.
So there are DES regulations to follow?
Yeah.
no, I thought that if it was your property, and I'm just getting this, I work at the floor works and we do get asbestos flooring.
Yep.
That the owner can rip it out without going through mitigation, but if if you hire somebody, then it has to be wrapped package and then it just goes in
Not
the dump.
legally,
Not legally.
but it happens.
You just go over it, you don't touch it.
If you go over it,
Over
that's
it's fine,
legal.
yeah,
Go
if you
over
go over it's fine.
As long as you
But
don't
if you try to
disturb it,
remove it,
it's
then you
legal.
have to get it,
But they did that for years with the asbestos pipe wrap, they just put plastic
Right.
sleeves around it and just left it.
Yep.
Yeah, but a lot of it gets taken care of that nobody ever knows
Yeah, but it
about.
winds up just in the dump anyway. There's no,
They come, wow, they bag it and then they take it to some special
Yeah, you
place.
can't just take asbestos, that's why that guy got fined at the
Yeah.
Mountain View Grand.
Big
Yeah, it's,
time.
Taking 3 years' worth of asbestos.
well, yeah, they kinda buried that in the back
Yeah.
40 though, that wasn't good. That was kinda,
Okay, do we have a motion to get these?
Can I read that sentence, make sure I got it right? Ron Shelter will get information on regulations and proper procedures for demolishing a house to the administrative assistant. Proper.
Good.
I vote to accept the minutes with the changes.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Where's this, oh, that's the sign, it's very good, I'm confused looking at them. I think it's the sign.
Fortunately, I having access to it now, I was able to fix the losses off.
Another error?
Well, when they entered the operating transfer note
Mhm.
for
For the
the
trust funds?
printer, yeah, for the printer out of the tech fund, they included the amount of the printer plus installation, and they only took the cost of the printer out of the trust fund.
Thank you for catching that and correcting it.
When I first saw it, when I printed the first report out Thursday, I had to walk around the office for a while. Probably nobody was there to hear me.
I was just looking for the most recent version that we were going to get. I was, I haven't had a chance to pull this up.
If you know, printed I didn't print it, I brought up the balance sheet, and it had us like down 60,000, I said, what? Paying 2020.
We can find it.
The most recent one, no, I'll have to pull up the number.
I mean, it looks close to what we had.
Yeah,
Well, you should be able to look at your annual report.
Oh, right here. Thinking.
That's before they even sit through them. That's the last week of everything.
so the difference in expenditures from the last report we're looking at is 39,000, right?
I'm sorry, it's what?
It's less because of the offset of the trust funds, right?
Because you've got, it should be about 5982 difference.
Okay, and I may be looking at the wrong version here.
The 39, take away the 15, does it bring it down to 24?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah, it's close. Yep.
What's the difference?
The 39 difference that I have less than 15 brings it to the 24, which is the,
What it should have been.
right,
You said it's close, but not exact. So it's-
I haven't done the exact
We were
calculation.
just,
I'm just trying in my
You
head.
did
I
it.
didn't
As we're going in, trying to remember those numbers that I had ingrained in my memory a couple weeks ago.
kind of looked at it, I didn't do it exactly, I could get the pen out and like actual do.
That's what I'm, so then do we want to have this available for town meeting next week, this report here? We talked about inserting it, since it, because we used the form, we didn't have those numbers in the system at the time that this went to press.
What statement is it?
The trust fund account wasn't done, so there was a difference. That wasn't put into our formula right. It should have been only 15 something, 800 and something, that was taken out of the trust fund.
But the problem was they didn't put any in, that transaction didn't get posted
It didn't go in,
into the income.
so.
It didn't go into the profit and loss, so basically, you spend money, and then you have transfers from the trust fund that go back into the budget to compensate for whatever was spent. So that transfer from the trust fund was never put into the profit and loss statement, so it.
Looked like we were way over budget.
Right, so it underestimated our revenues by about 16,000. So,
9214.
right, so basically, then when you look at the percent over budget, it brought it from like 24,000 to 40,000. So it's made it look worse.
Yeah, well, I would suggest it be made available for people
Right.
who might have
Especially,
concerns.
and you could probably answer this, do you vote on the town reports, accepting the town reports?
The town reports, no.
Because basically, that's the only thing that's wrong is the town reports.
We vote on the budget.
Right, but some towns actually vote on the town reports.
Oh,
Is
no, I
it
don't think so, we don't have a.
No.
Are we going to have it on the screen? Up on the wall like we
We
normally
weren't,
do? Huh?
we weren't planning on it. I don't know if people have the town reports. I am not expecting a huge turnout. By that I mean maybe 200, because there are no huge issues. I'll ask Kathleen, she usually does it. Kathleen Fountain puts it up. It just means more extension
means we
cords
could
and
put-
stuff.
This one on the wall.
So is it like a PowerPoint or?
Yeah,
Yeah, it just goes up and it just shows the difference and we can explain the difference from the book to the
Right.
wall.
would it make it easier for you guys? I'll ask Kathleen to get it set up.
I think it would be easier than trying to say, oh, there's a difference. We can just show the difference.
Yeah,
And then you can point to the line instead of trying to have them find it.
on the thing.
But you could also make some copies of this and put out in the box for the
That people
kids
could
that
pick it up with the town report.
I'll get hold of Kathleen by tomorrow, and
Does she have a projector?
she had it out for a computer.
Right, but she'd need a projector.
Yeah, she always did it, we just stopped it, I don't know why we stopped doing it.
Okay.
I will address it with her, if it makes it easier for you, I know there are gonna be, there's always somebody asking a question.
Yeah,
If it makes it easier for you, sure.
I think so. We can have some copies there as well.
Okay.
Just, because of that little discrepancy, it looks like the
Right,
39 over and we weren't.
right.
There are some people that pick up on that.
Yeah.
Just because they do.
Yep. Well, we
Better
went
to
around
be
and
up-
round about it. 'cause
Better
we've
to
been-
be upfront about it.
Yeah. And it really was just a timing thing where we didn't have trustees of the trust funds and trying to get all the information
Too.
together in time. And all of us being new, I'll own some of it too.
Yeah, and then with the trustee thing, somehow we need to have like a quarterly report or something,
Yeah.
because Rose has gone back to 2012 and tried to organize it all.
Yeah.
So quarterly reports haven't been done for some time?
Are they supposed to do quarterlies on the trustees? I don't know, I just said,
No idea.
we need some way of keeping track that it's getting done.
Yeah,
I mean, Rose got handed a checkbook and it said what? I
It
forget,
was indecipherable.
it was like, wow. No,
oh,
so we need to have, somehow have an ongoing report so that when someone quits, that person isn't trying to figure out.
Yeah. So I did, in updating the job description, I did put that in there as one of the things, getting reports from the trust funds.
Okay.
And
So I did my eye chart, a comparison of the old and the new.
the new,
Yeah,
I tracked changes.
yeah.
But we talked about a couple of things that I added to it, and I thought I emailed it to you last night, and unfortunately, it looks like I've got the old and the new email on my phone, and I
Tina,
did
do you
it
want a
from the,
Oh, you have to change them both.
well, another email that I sent went out, so I'm not quite sure what happened. I did not make copies of my little cheat sheet for the financial piece of it. Did you make copies of the job description?
Are we done with the budget?
Yeah, because this is actually the job description too, or the new one. I don't know if you made changes to the,
Well, we talked about a couple of changes last week.
Yep.
So I added those and I did some reorganizing, so, and that's where I tried to send it out last night, but Tina said she didn't get it today, and it was like, oh, shoot, and then I was looking for it, took me a while to find it.
The ad is on the last page.
Okay. And I drafted an ad too.
did you say what the, okay. So I did find out from Westap that they have municipal rate. So it's like 1.4, so whatever we would pay them, it's basically 40, we would pay them 40%. If we went through a temporary staffing agency.
Okay, if they had the employee, what about this recruitment piece? If just
They basically, when I talked to her today, she said that she had some, like, basically this kind of considered mother's hours. Because,
Okay.
except for Monday night.
Yeah,
And she said that she had a handful of people that she was gonna go back and look at.
okay, because I made some calls
Who was this,
and,
I'm sorry?
This
Great.
was Janine from Westap. She owns Westap. I forget her last name.
Where is West Staff?
Westap is, I think, in St. Johnsbury, and they're around. There are a couple of locations.
because I think I left them a message.
Yeah.
And then it was, I also left a message for all staff, I got a voicemail back today, I have not
Yeah.
connected.
Westap, I think, is a little bit better staffed than West Allstaff. Or they're bigger. They're bigger.
Are they bigger?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we deal with
I think
Allstaff.
all staff
and-
is basically one person.
Right. Westap is pretty big because we had lunch with them today, so.
Yeah. I did talk with New Dimensions, and actually that was a very good conversation. And then we've had some emails back, because I thought I didn't have a lot of time to talk this weekend, we did talk and had some follow-up questions. But they would come in and help us. One thing that I think would be very good is, they're very good in QuickBooks. They talked about, they said, once you get QuickBooks set up to do payroll, it's pretty straightforward. So we may not need to outsource payroll. which would be
Right.
50 grand.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it certainly would
especially
be-
when you don't do the retirement.
Right.
Because that's a there if you can't do their
Right.
Yeah. You know, it'd be more cost effective for us to hire directly rather than to contract them for the services.
Well, right, so that's what, so I had that, that's like, I know that you had your calculation, so if
Yeah.
I looked at what we spent last year, so we spent, well, between Jesse, Tita, and Coas, we spent $28,653. And,
Yep, I had like 29,000, so that's pretty
yeah,
close.
yeah, and so, I think if we were looking at somebody that's full-time, and then you add in benefits, I mean, I think you're going from 28 to almost 70. I mean, because it's like, you're
But
gonna,
what we talked about was 20 hours per week plus meetings.
okay, all right, so yeah, 'cause I know at one point they were talking about somebody full-time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know I did calculations
Yeah.
at a variety
Yeah.
of salary levels. And I looked at, and I could make copies of this if it'd be easier.
Will you turn that on? The coffee, and warm it up, please, thank you.
Take a second for it to warm up.
No,
It does, it takes a few minutes to warm up.
And so what I looked at, if we looked at, you know, like, say we did 25 hours per week, I think these meetings are at least 4 or 5 hours on Mondays.
Right.
You know, if you could get them
Right.
by 30. We're probably looking at a range of, you know, 18 to 26,000
Mhm.
for part-time.
Okay, and what hourly rate was that?
range.
And that's ranging from $14 to $20 an hour.
Okay,
So which is, the annual equivalent is like 29,000 to 41,600.
okay.
So that was just a range, and I can
Mhm.
plug in other numbers because
Mhm.
I set it up in a spreadsheet. I also,
I'm sorry, what was it, $14 to $20 per hour, and what was it, annual?
yeah, I can give you a copy of this and then you don't have
As
to,
soon as that warms up.
okay? And I could try to email you
So
a copy of it.
Oh, okay, I will listen and then. get the
Yeah, you can listen and
information so I
think
can-
and not have to remember the numbers. And I also looked at COAS and, you know, their original letter of engagement would have been 18,000 per
Right,
year.
Right,
There are other tiers, just the advisory, oops, I spelled that wrong. Preparation compilation would be 11,500 plus payroll would be 14,750.
mhm,
The bookkeeping, which is just monthly reconciliation, it's not the AP or any of that, would be 13,000 plus payroll would be 16,000 per year. I think we're much better off offering more hours and a little bit higher pay and doing it ourselves. What I don't have is I don't know off the top of my head the fringe benefit rate where we're talking about just taxes and not health insurance and things, workman's comp. Do you
Mhm.
know that for social security?
What-
I
what
don't
we
know
have
the
to-
percentages.
I don't,
It's 7.45%,
I'm sorry,
7.45%.
for social security,
For
what about
FICA,
withholding?
for FICA and MEDI.
7.45?
1.45 for MEDI and 6.2 for FICA.
Say the last one again, please, my hearing.
6.2,
6.2
if 6.2 and 1.45 adds up to what I said.
to 7 point, close, okay, oh, so 7.45 is the total percentage. Okay, so I can throw that into these calculations, I mean, I think we're still going to be in good shape in terms of better service, and
Mhm.
especially if we've got these other services, like if we need new dimensions or another service, if we ran into a bind, we could outsource for a short period of time or for backup.
No, and New Dimensions is a CPA firm?
They're not a CPA, but they do bookkeeping.
Okay.
They're very good at QuickBooks. And Nancy
Dukowski.
Giskowski, she actually filled in back years ago in Dalton when there was an issue with the old issue that we keep hearing about. She filled in for like a year and a half during that period. So she knows Dalton. She and her staff know municipal accounting.
Mhm.
They know QuickBooks. What she would also be willing to do is, on an advisory basis, come and help us set up payroll, look at
Mhm.
how we've got QuickBooks set up,
Mhm.
maybe upgrade QuickBooks
Mhm.
and help set up that. Because it seems like we've had some issues with how it's set up, so whether, it might be good to have an agency come in and just
Okay.
be able to look at it. and her cost for that would be $45 an hour.
Can I ask a question about payroll? At Floorworks, where I am, there's a group, that does our payroll, and they're called payroll something, and it seems real easy, and it's direct, does the town have direct deposit?
And QuickBooks is quick.
Yeah, and it's just,
Yeah. Well, and then we've
it's
been
just, I mean, all
outsourcing.
they do, and it seems easy, and it's been with the store, I've been there 12 years, and it was with the store long before, and it just seems easy, the checks come, that's all they do.
Yeah.
So how does the
I
town
think there are
currently,
copies of that. Right?
how does the town currently handle, it sounds to me
So-
like you've got several options for people doing payroll for the town.
So right now, Co-ops, used to be Crane and Bell in Lancaster, is doing payroll. We use QuickBooks for our general ledger and our accounts payable, but they're using a different system for payroll, a different accounting system. So then we have to import the data into QuickBooks. So it's not ideal.
Yeah, it seems confusing.
Yeah,
There's a middle step that really doesn't need to be there.
right. And if the payroll function will work well in QuickBooks, and once it's set up is pretty straightforward, then, maybe we don't need to outsource it. So that's something we've been looking at, trying to make things more efficient and
Yeah,
save money in the long run.
yeah, oh, yeah.
So this is kind of just a quick and dirty, because I just wanted to get a feel for myself on the cost. So if you look at this, I mean, I've got, per hour, then I did the annual equivalent, and then I did an estimate per year based on 3 different scenarios for hours per week.
Okay, so this is the hours 20.
Right, 20, 24, 25, yeah, because I set up formulas, so that's why I didn't write in weeks. And I did this kind of quick and dirty just to do some figures. I did an estimate per month based on 12 months per year. You could see the monthly cost. I'm just going through how it's set up, it's pretty straightforward, it's not fancy, it's just kind of quick and dirty. And then I did the co-ops.
But this would also allow someone to be in the office. That's the other
Right.
piece to that,
Right. Right.
you know.
And I think, we've got more things going on, like whether it be welfare, doing some support for the planning board, taking their documents up to Lancaster, the Registry of Deeds when they need that. So I think this seems reasonable to me.
Did you make us all copies of size?
Is that bad?
I did track changes, so you can see the.
I know, no, I did, no, because there was some stuff that was like, there was like added things that were different, I'm just trying to match up exactly what it was. I'm an
Yeah.
engineer,
I
I'm
don't
sorry,
think
I have to
can
use a
put this through
spreadsheet.
the copier.
I have to use a spreadsheet. Oh, I have more copies.
Okay.
Do you want more copies?
I would like to keep one.
So, you want to go through the job description and see if we're ready to post it? I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
perfect, because I don't think there ever is a perfect representation
Well,
of
just
the job.
make sure
But
we
it's good to
have
it
subject
close.
to change, or flexible.
Right, right, and
As long
there is,
as
there
you
is,
put
there is that,
flexibility in there.
catch-all one of
Oh,
those
other
other related
duties.
duties as required.
Yes, I think that.
And I did draft a advertisement. Yeah, so it's at the back of it.
One thing I didn't see is the word confidentiality. You talk around it.
Yeah, I did not address that directly.
Pardon?
I did not address that directly, so, that's a good point.
This should be town policy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if that would be under, that might be under the knowledge, skills, and abilities section.
No, it would be under major duties. I would. Yeah, because you have.
Yeah, so maybe up in the
Somewhere.
first section, like maybe after,
The town welfare officer.
Hmm?
After the town welfare officer.
No, it should be like right up front.
Yeah.
maybe in the job summary.
Yep, that would work. Because it says excellent judgment, professional demeanor, excellent community, and confidentiality.
Ability to, and I'm just trying to think how to word it without being redundant. Because there's some things that have to be public, because they're, so
Well, yeah,
it's the, this ability to discriminate between right to know and confidential items and maintain appropriate.
Be able to handle confidential issues in a timely and competent manner.
Yeah, let's see. Ability to maintain confidentiality as appropriate. Okay.
You're gonna update this and send it?
Yes, or I could send it to you tonight after the meeting.
I'm not gonna take it till tomorrow, so.
I know, but if I don't do it before I leave here, by the time I get home, I will not want to turn on my computer.
Well, is this in a Word document?
Yeah.
So you could change it, she could just print it out.
Or you can read it to me and I can take it, write it, I just
Oh,
didn't,
yeah.
didn't start soon enough to get.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Get the word.
yeah, I can do it, I can,
She can make the changes and email it to you.
yeah, I can make, if we don't make major changes, like,
Well, that was really.
one sentence I could add.
That was
would
the
be-
only thing I really saw that wasn't specifically addressed. It was
And
really-
it's good.
You kind of work around it, but I know
No,
that's
we
one of
need
the
that,
issues.
but we need to
that-
say
There
it.
are times when we have to be confidential, there,
Yeah.
yep, welfare, legal issues, litigation.
I,
Non-public
I'll go with that.
issues.
Yep.
and-
Okay.
And the
And what about
confidentiality.
what about the ad, is there any,
So if this goes in the paper, how many, which paper, and will it run only one weekly? Will it,
so that was my next question.
well, because
Yep.
if we put a deadline of March 19th on, if we're gonna put it like in the Democrat, next Monday would be the deadline.
Do people look at the paper for jobs?
I think so.
I think so, the
I
other
think-
thing would be
Yeah, I'd say
Indeed.com.
Northwoods Weekly and probably the Democrat are your two best.
So
Maybe
Maybe
we
the
Maybe
might,
Marlin
Courier.
Record. to get the
I
more
understand
people.
apply by noon, March 19th, but
And that was is that feasible? Cause I looked at the
I think
calendar,
that's
but I thought it was, might be
too soon.
pushing
Too
it.
tight.
too close.
Okay,
I
that's,
think that you figure next week is the 10th.
so maybe,
23rd?
or April 2nd? Thinking of Thursday so that we get them in before the meeting on Monday.
I'd suggest you get it in as soon as you can. You do not know what you're gonna get for response.
Right, but we're talking about a deadline, if we put a deadline in the ad, so we get, and I have it worded to ensure consideration, so it's not like we can accept an application
Oh.
after that point. but
Oh,
to
you're
try-
saying you want an application in by?
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
And I think,
We're not talking about when we post it.
well, that's what I'm.
Yeah, no.
you think March 19th is too soon?
Yeah,
I think it's too soon.
I was pushing it, I'll agree. Oh,
I
oh,
understand the reason, but,
Yep, no,
I
it's,
mean, we might just wanna go out to April, get it in the paper, give it 3 weeks, give it time to go on the website, Indeed.com, I mean, those are gonna take a few days to post.
yeah, so like April 2nd?
I think that's good.
Okay.
So Indeed.com, the Co-op Democrat,
North Country Week,
Northwoods Weekly,
Northwoods Weekly.
that's free, it goes to most mailboxes, so. Got a lot of
When they
coverage.
used to post job up
Hmm?
free.
Okay, the Democrat, right? The Courier?
and on the website.
If it goes in the Democrat, does it go in the Littleton Courier
Yeah.
automatically?
Probably give you a deal.
Yeah,
Does it do?
It does.
What about like the Caledonian Record?
they're separate.
Right, I know, but is, you know, there are a lot of people on the Vermont
Yeah.
side of the river that's so far. The thing is, it's gonna get expensive too.
Yeah,
Well, you
but
post
we
him in
also-
New Hampshire unemployment also?
Yeah, I,
See, I think you could do Indeed.com free or,
so I tried to go in and see, but I didn't wanna actually register. And I think they're different, like if you have a sponsored one, you definitely have to pay. To just post it, I don't know. I know you don't have to pay to register as an employee looking for a job.
and then,
But I think, so I don't think we would need a sponsored one, because it'll still come up in job searches.
and I think we should,
Yeah, I would definitely do Indeed though.
Hmm?
I would definitely do Indeed.
Yes, I absolutely would too.
I think we
even
should
if I
also
paid.
post it for town meeting on the bulletin board.
Yeah.
And the website, obviously.
Obviously, the
Yeah.
website.
When did these
Do you
West
want-
Staff for New Dimensions say, somebody said they had a couple people in mind, or were they temps?
West Staff, the temps.
I was gonna say, that was my next question, can we send a copy of the ad to New Dimensions and West Staff?
Sure, I don't know why not.
We can charge for that, I would think, since they have it.
But you wouldn't want
You can,
anybody, like, you wouldn't want anybody to go through that, 'cause you don't have to pay the fee, if you could just bring somebody in yourself. But if you go through West Staff, they will do a background check.
Well, and that's one thing we have to think about whether we want to do it or not, a background check.
Right.
We probably should,
Yeah.
for an employee, especially dealing with
Would
money.
we send this job description to Indeed?
Yeah, and we,
Would we send it to West Staff or the temp agency?
So West Staff, I gave, like, a copy of the updated one that you had,
Okay.
the draft, with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
earlier draft, so
Yeah.
this is different.
just to get a general idea.
Yeah, but we haven't signed anything with them, so we're not obligated to go through them
Right.
tonight.
So you want the job description sent to New Dimensions and West Bath too, as well as the ad?
I don't know why not.
I think we should, and that way they call and they'll say, we'll charge you this money, and we can say, well, we've got a better offer for the same thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, we're not, you know, I have an email out to New Dimension asking what the cost is for recruitment, handling the recruitment. Because one of the things is, I mean, the whole process of recruiting can be time intensive. By the time you review resumes and interview people and do background checks and check references and
Especially if they're from New Hampshire, it takes 3 weeks.
do a background check?
Yep, everything's paper. If they're from anywhere else, it's like 3 days. If you've lived in New Hampshire, it's like 2 or 3 weeks. depending on who they are.
Wow, I don't know, I was used to a quicker turnaround.
Yeah.
than I used
The
to.
EMS ones, I think now are all federal, those are like 6 weeks plus. Any new licensed EMT has to go through a federal background check before they get licensed.
Boy,
I think it's like 6 weeks is what they were saying.
that's a long time.
Yeah.
And that's like a FBI background check.
Of course, anything
I could do one
the government's not fast about it.
That's, yeah, but that's not as thorough.
Huh?
Not quite as thorough, the 15 minute ones, right?
Oh, it's pretty thorough. I can grab,
Oh, yeah,
put
but you
your
can't.
name, date of
yeah, but
birth,
you
and sure,
can't-
I can tell you if
yeah,
you're
but you're
applying
not-
any state.
You're not supposed to be doing that for other other non-work things, right?
Yeah, you'd have to send it.
Yeah,
Go to work for the state of New Hampshire, right? There's a background check.
yeah. Okay,
That was months.
so I mean, I think at least we can post it, and then if we go through an agency and they handle the recruitment piece,
Right.
because that may be money well spent, I'm just looking at how much time I have
Mhm.
outside of what we're already spending, and,
Yeah, it depends, I mean, I certainly don't mind reading people or screening the resumes and stuff.
yeah. And I don't either, I'm just thinking of me,
Yeah.
and all the references and all
Right,
that,
right.
so.
Well,
And I
it was
certainly wanna
funny,
be involved in.
well, they were
some
saying
element
now
of-
that they, like with them, that came up when we were talking, they're basically saying when people come in for temp jobs, it's like if you, they can get a job like that. And so most people, like, if they'll, typically, they won't wait for references. They'll, if it's a known company, they have their contacts, and they just say, they're good or bad.
Yeah,
You know, because it's like, if
And I
you
would
don't, if you
assume
wait
that
for
all
it,
the
they'll get
temp-
another job somewhere else.
The
That's
temp
what you think.
agencies have background checks.
Yeah.
yeah. And you can hire people contingent on the
Right.
outcome of a background check too.
Yeah.
And checking references. Okay, so do we want to pay, right now we're looking at, Northwoods Weekly may or may not charge, or they don't charge much, but Democrat
They do
might be
charge.
expensive.
The Democrat is the one that Carol didn't want me to do anything more again because they were so expensive.
They are expensive.
Yeah,
And the other thing is, how many weeks do you want it to run? Or do you like every other week instead of every week, or?
No, I'd run
I
2
think
weeks
2 weeks
straight.
in a
Right,
row
2
is
weeks,
what I'm
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
So do we wanna pay for the Democrat, which would be slash Courier, right? That's all Salmon Press. So that's probably gonna be what?
If we put it in Democrat, we get it in the local Courier.
Yeah,
So that is gonna cover Coas and Grafton.
yeah. And I don't know the cost of the Caledonian Record.
It's probably similar to.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
it's probably
They're all gonna be
comparable, so.
within
Do we wanna do those as fallback if we don't get responses from Indeed.com, Northwoods Weekly,
Mhm.
town meeting?
Yeah, we wanna do we have to use the Caledonian?
It's a fallback.
It's a fall, if we put that as a fallback and the Democrat as a fallback, then we're not putting that money out right away.
Right, right.
That's good.
But we can do it later.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay,
Start out with.
all right. Are
And a
you,
lot of people do look on Indeed.com, so I think that we need to have that.
and I think even if there's a cost, we need to. I don't know that we need
I
a
think like
sponsor.
I think the younger ones that will text everybody, are looking online,
That's
that's the
because-
newspaper.
Yeah, oh,
This
definitely.
is this.
Yeah, right.
Because nobody gets newspapers anymore.
Right. That's probably who we're looking for.
Yeah, although we might get somebody who, you know, is nearing retirement age, who wants a part-time
Yep.
job too. It's
Yep.
hard, I
Yep.
think we should try both ends.
So I'm going to send it to, get onto Indeed.com and do
Yeah.
whatever is reasonable there. I assume once you pay a fee, it stays.
Just tell them that.
Yeah, because I know I'm still on emails and I get the same job for every day for
Yeah.
forever.
And
right.
Northwoods Weekly on the 2 consecutive weeks. The website, obviously, until we find somebody.
Yeah.
And the bulletin board. And then I'll also send a copy of the ad and the job description to West staff and the conventions.
The other, I had a, and I just glanced at the email response, I reached out to White Mountain Community College. And they had sent an email back, I'll just pull it up here. So, she thinks that their management accounting programs have their internship this semester, and most of them have been assigned. She asked if we were looking for an intern or an employee, and I think I kind of left it open in the message I left for her. We are having a job on April 14th, I think she might be in job fair.
Yeah.
So that might be something we might look into. So, you know, I just got this afternoon, I haven't responded to her, this response.
I think, I know Profile does, and I think White Mountain Regional does. have internships too.
You guys were looking for someone who's got experience and can
Right,
get
I
this
mean,
stuff
the
done. I mean,
high school internship.
you guys were
is
like all over the
like-
place. Narrow it down.
Yeah, the high school internships, I mean, we have them at, like, we're basically, like, you're just, you're their teacher, like, they're not.
I wasn't thinking of an internship, I was thinking about a college student that wants a job.
Yeah, that's got,
Yeah, and
got some
that's the problem,
years
the high
of-
school, is that if you get a good one, they're gonna go on to college, so you're gonna.
Oh,
lose
even
them.
college
What I think,
kids.
what I think we might wanna do after we get this position filled is we look at redesigning the webpage. That might be something that a high school kid could do as an internship. You know, there are a lot of really tech savvy graphic design high school kids.
But I think for you, if I'm, from where I'm sitting, what you're saying, like John, somebody that can hit the floor running
That'd be ideal.
and step
yes.
in, and you're not gonna get that with a high school or college kid.
Right, no,
You're not.
yeah.
I
You're only
think
gonna get them for a couple
the
of months.
lady that has got the mother's hours, that's probably more ideal. Someone who's grounded, who needs the job but wants to get out and can do the 20 or 30 hours of,
Yeah,
you know, from a social environment, I would think that would be your target.
yeah. Yeah, we're just trying to be, you know, open in terms of
Considering all your options.
all the
Yeah,
options
all
and
the
things that have been
options.
You
suggested
know,
in past
unfortunately,
meetings
young
too.
people in this, they don't wanna stay here. They're gonna hit college or something, they leave the area. It's not somebody that's going to build this as a lifelong or even a 10-year career
Yeah,
from a young person. You want
Yeah.
something a little more grounded, stuck here with kids.
okay. So any other
No, I think that's
corrections,
good.
any typos on this? 'Cause I
No.
don't,
I didn't see anything wrong.
okay. Think we're set then? Yep.
And the only change on the ad was the date,
Yes.
to April 2nd.
Yep. Okay, the Eversource,
Where this is a job description, should we perhaps have a vote to adopt it?
probably. Do we have a motion to accept the job description and the advertisement and to proceed with our recruitment plan?
I don't know, did you need a motion for the ad, but it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, it could just be rolled into. Do we have a motion to accept the job description?
I make a motion to accept the job description.
Just the job description.
Well, both,
Well, I don't care, I just
Yeah.
wanna make sure
And
the
add.
ad's right.
all the above.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Thanks. Thank you, Tina.
I just, where that's becoming part of your town books, replacing one, I just thought it should have a
It's, no, you're
formal
right.
recognition.
Yep. Okay. Eversource poll license, did you get any feedback from Bob about that?
I did, I wrote by in here, I did stop and ask the guys, and the pole height goes anywhere from 30 to 52 feet, and what they put in Whitefield were all 45 footers with 152 footer. And it depends on the topography that they're putting the poles in.
Okay. So
That
those are
makes
just
sense.
regular straight utility lines. Okay, so, do we have the original letter? So do we want to give permission, and do we need a motion to give permission to replace the poles?
Yeah, I'm sure people are gonna appreciate having electricity.
Yes.
And if we don't.
Yep. We have a motion to that effect. I make a motion that we accept the pole license request from Eversource per their letter dated February 13th and attachments.
I said,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. think we need to sign these.
I'm sorry, I was reading, who seconded that one?
I did.
Entered in the town of Berkeley.
Is there just one there, or are there 3 copies of it?
There are 2 copies.
So I thought they had a local for Dalton. The Eversource, I thought there was only 1 copy.
I think it's the same.
I think the same.
Yeah, Harriman Road. It's the same.
Yeah, but it's,
These were the different.
there are copies for different people.
These were different. Harriman Road, what was your other one?
Harriman
Different than
Road.
that. I thought these were different on the poles. There were 2 different roads.
I don't think so. I think the only difference was, that they had 1 copy was Dalton's and 1 was Eversource's, and then I thought there was a 3rd
I
copy.
thought there were 2 addresses. Harriman, we were talking the poles.
50E/18.
There were 2 addresses, 2 roads.
50E/18.
That's what this one is, the same thing.
Yeah,
And this one is-
same thing. We just have 3 copies of the same thing.
So there are 3 copies of it.
Yep.
And I think you need to sign all 3.
I'm not sitting by you.
Pardon?
I'm not sitting by Joe Bath.
I'm tired of having, it's second cold this year and it's really annoying.
And sign them all up with a few, 100 people. Yesterday morning.
Okay, do you have any other old business before we move on to new business?
We have the contracts.
Right.
From Carberry that we need to
Okay,
go
I
through and
have
look
2
at.
signed copies. Is there a third
She
one?
has the, oh, right here. Did she sign it? No, she didn't.
I know we talk with her all the time.
Well, I think it got left here and she didn't see it.
Carol was hoarding it. They
I
don't
love
see the
Ingersoll's
other
not.
page. As I said, my brain is just not, I feel a little bit fuzzy tonight, so you'll have to keep me on
I
track.
didn't realize that their legal name is still PSNE, doing business.
Do you know that Eversource just purchased the gas company?
The one that blew
Basically
everything
Lawrence
up,
that
yeah.
blew everybody up.
Yeah. Because they can no
Columbia
longer
Gas.
operate under that name, so.
They're not allowed to operate in the state. I think I kicked out of Massachusetts.
So, but the company's been sold to Eversource, it will be open.
Is there, I see the Carberry one and I see the Eversource abatement, do you have the DES report of deficiency, did you make copies of that?
I
No,
don't,
she emailed copies.
I know,
Yeah.
but I think stuff like that, I think we should,
which one, there were like 3 of them.
just the
A
one
couple
from
of
this
them,
week.
couple of them we handled last meeting.
Right, so the one that you had just emailed and then there was a page missing,
Yeah.
and then you
I don't think I made copies of that.
Well, we have a copier right there, hand it to me, I will make copies.
So I did read through this, like the contract from Carberry. So, they use the terms contractor and, certification regarding agent. So I'm assuming the town is the contractor, and the agents are our guys at the transfer station? Because they wrote that they have agent, like, stuff, about certificates and stuff.
I have to look at the contacts and
Yeah,
the.
so, right, so well, that's,
Yeah.
like, so it says from contractor, so that has to be from us, because it's to them, right?
Right,
And then they just talk about, you have to certify that each of the following conditions have been met. So it's all vehicles of the agent have been duly inspected. So that would be BI.
Right, yeah.
And then agent, drivers are properly licensed, BI. Agent's business is properly established to legally conduct business. Agent's workers' comp insurance is in force as required by state law. So they require this is, the agent's business has comprehensive general liability insurance with contractual liability coverage in automobile, or higher non-owner coverage with a minimum combined single limit of $1 million per occurrence for bodily injury and property damage. AVARs shall be listed as a certificate holder of vehicle or schedule of the auto insurance, a listing of the vehicle, the scheduled vehicles and provide certificates of insurance, evidencing required coverage with the provisions that 30 days written notice of policy cancellation be given as attached.
So do they want that from both, because I'm thinking the agent would be Beatty.
Yeah, they want Beatty's information.
Right, so this one,
They
this
just
one.
want it for Beatty.
But they
not-
also wanted, I think this one also says the town and agent or, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, so, and it sounds like from this, the wording on this one's a little bit different than the wording on this one. It says, the agent's workers' compensation is insured, of course, is required by state law. The other one makes it sound like this is the default level, so.
So that's, I mean, getting a certificate of insurance, like, that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, it is, yeah, because we won't do business with
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
That's something DES would actually require, it's just like in Vermont.
Right, so I'm sure that they already have to do that.
The carriers all have to have that.
Yeah, and then it says, you know, the term will take effect.
So we do have,
Primex issues a certificates of insurance.
Primex does.
Yeah, so then, I'm sure BI with that they talk about excluded waste, which is pretty standard. The cost is what we already talked about. They basically said, the one thing in here is it looks like we have to conduct, training.
You want me to make copies so everybody can see it and stuff?
Yeah, if you want to. I think what I read somewhere, basically you have to say that the people that are, you know, it basically say excluded waste, which is all common, like medical waste, asbestos, all that other stuff. There's stuff associated with,
Probably the transfer station.
right, you have to go to the weigh station, or if you don't go to the weigh station, it's like if you lose your parking ticket, like you get charged for the most your truck will carry. You know what I mean? Like there's a weigh station you have to go to.
Oh, the way up,
Yeah,
so you get charged by ton.
right. I think, but we definitely could make copies of this. But I think somewhere it was just said, contractor shall train and pre-authorize all employees, agents, or representative who will make deliveries of acceptable waste to the landfill on behalf of contractor under this agreement. And contractor shall ensure that all agents meet the following minimum compliance standards. You know, so that it's inspected, they're licensed. So basically, they want them to understand what's legal waste.
Right, and so we probably need to check and see what we're doing now. You know,
So they do have, if you go to the transfer station, they have a whole wall of certificates of different levels.
Okay,
So that may cover it, I just have to
okay.
ask. So they certainly have to be trained to handle what we're doing right now.
They should be, right, but we need to verify that
Right,
and
right.
and get the documentation, which would be a good thing.
Right.
Yeah,
So I didn't see anything in here that was,
okay. So we should check on those other things and work with Beatty on
right,
the agent piece of it.
right. So I can make, do we make 3
That'd be
copies?
good to review and then we can definitely finalize it.
So you're gonna work to fulfill what's needed to.
Yeah, what I'll do is, Carol has been interfacing with them, so I don't wanna
Okay.
complicate it. So
Yeah.
what I'll do is I will go through, this,
Mhm.
and she's put a list of what I think we need to ask for, and I can do that. And I can just email that, right?
Yeah, you get feedback from us or.
Right, no, but I can just say, based on my interpretation of this, this is what we need.
Okay,
And then I can try to, later in the week, I'm not as busy. What day's the transfer station's open tomorrow, right?
Tuesday and Saturday.
Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Well, I'll be there Saturday,
Okay.
so, well, I can ask about training,
Yep.
training and stuff.
I know I've seen certificates come through, like Bob had one containing it.
Okay,
So I did get to go to the highway department last Wednesday. So I went to go in and look around and look at all the equipment and all that stuff, so that was kinda cool.
yeah.
It was all-
It was something to do our tour here
Yeah.
and there and.
It was all, like, I was very impressed, it was all shiny and new and, everything was well taken care of. They were telling me about the wood, the outside wood burner they had, so they don't have to burn oil and A lot of nice stuff.
Yeah.
I kinda ate it the first time.
I've got it on the computer so I can reprint it too.
This is backside too.
Oh, I should say that.
Here is my question about this one and the one we did last week. Are they public knowledge?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because you'd be able to get them from DES, so.
So,
That Amanuset asphalt, 'Cause of that.
no.
That was last week.
This is
Right.
a different one, it's a letter of this deficiency.
from DES?
Yes.
Huh.
Um,
And this,
is this,
it's actually back to, something they filed in 2017 related to,
but this is dated February 21st, 2020,
right.
and here comes my next question. I don't know, have you had a chance to read it?
I skimmed really quickly,
Okay.
so that's
Well, here's
where.
my next question. It says to cease,
Is it Amanuset asphalt?
No, it's,
it says, please stop all earth moving activities on the property, except as necessary to stabilize the property.
and
So,
what I don't understand on this is whether all his properties are just part of it.
It looks like the description that they give,
anybody want one of these? If it's public knowledge?
It'd probably be easier to follow. I don't know who we're talking about.
so basically it says, there was an inspection on December 13th. And it says they went up to do an inspection. And to the west of Douglas Drive, it said the terrain had been altered for a total of approximately 140,000 square feet. Based on the assessment of a past aerial photograph, it appears 65,000 square feet of this terrain had been altered since 2015. And then on December 19th, it said, it basically said that they issued a permit, then they took it back. And so, and then it also said to the east of Douglas Drive, 200,000 square feet of terrain had been disturbed.
So,
Well, that's
So
chicks
they-
then, right?
Back in 2017, DES sent them a letter requesting more information related to wetlands, test pits, and other identified issues. And there was never a reply to that letter, so no permission for
Wow.
the alteration of
Before I
terrain
get
had
to
been
it, so
granted.
I'll-
So basically,
Thank you.
My
that's,
understanding.
that's how I read it. So my next question is, does this automatically go to the planning board?
Yes, I believe, this, I'm thinking something else.
Or does it come to?
No, it goes to the Conservation Commission.
Goes-
It does, Select Board and the Conservation Commission.
So it should also be given to the planning board.
I can give it to them on Wednesday.
Okay.
The other thing is, this is DES, so we don't have anything to do with enforcement of this, this is DES.
Exactly, that's my point, so does,
Well, that's the irony of the fact that
I mean,
they
call
sent
them.
us to the Conservation Commission.
If you got a question, call them up. I call DES when I get stuff all the time that
well, I know, I
Greg
just wanna
talked
make
with.
sure it's public
I
information.
mean, if you got any
and-
questions and you call them, they're really awesome to deal with. I've never had a bad luck dealing with them. They'll answer whatever you have for questions.
So this is the vice chair of the Conservation Commission.
I mean, you know,
Well,
That's a conflict.
so
Make sure
we
you
have a select board
understand.
member going, and any discussion of this, he has to recuse himself, which has been,
It should mean that he leaves the room. It should mean that he leaves the room, but.
He should not
You won't have a, you won't have a quorum then.
Participate in discussion.
You won't have a quorum.
and they're not gonna be making any decisions,
Right,
so-
but I mean, you would only be talking with Corey Sincere. Right?
We should have 3 for quorum.
Because
Well-
Vanessa lives there. The other two aren't on the board anymore. They're-
Well, we haven't technically replaced, I mean, their terms have expired, that's a little bit of a gray area, whether they're still on the board until somebody's appointed to replace them or not.
Wow, this is a lot of terrain.
They got all kinds of
And this is-
divisions.
But
I
it's
don't know
hard
what
to
this is.
figure out what
Divisions.
drain they're talking about, what area.
I
But then
believe,
it has
this is
20
probably dealing with the drag strip.
Oh,
It
20
mentions the drag strip in the letter.
But
Right
I-
in the first paragraph.
Yeah, but he's
In the
operating,
area
it
that
says
is
here he's
proposed
operating
to be
without a
drag
permit.
strip, and to the east of Douglas Drive and north of the existing garage building.
Because what I don't know, he still has his
So-
gravel pits that are,
The other letter can be,
Yeah, but he has to have permits.
Is that just I mean, that's just a notification to the board, DES is already dealing with it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
they
know.
notified us.
and that's where, as a town, we don't have any info.
I get a lot of letters from DES, but it's just basically saying,
Wow.
it's like a notification, we're dealing with this problem.
But the
and-
person to whom it's addressed does have to do stuff or stop doing stuff.
Correct.
So why
Yeah.
all of a sudden is
So
this stuff
DES
coming?
is already working
Well,
on
we've
this.
been getting things about various things all year. This is one that we're
But that
paying.
one's 2015,
Because
right?
they did an inspection on December 13th,
Yeah.
and this is a response to that.
Huh. Dougie's not playing by the rules.
Okay. So on to other news business. We skip to B, so this is the letter of interest you sent out to us. Are we ready to post that for the,
No, I just need you guys. I think they should be there. I don't know if they're-
This will also go up on the website, correct? Is our intention?
yes.
That's all the only place it's going to
I know, but that's our intention, to put up on the website and,
go. And,
And the bulletin board?
oh, in the vote, yeah, I wasn't going to put it in page today.
you can put it on the bulletin board and the website.
Yeah, just that's,
Not unless those papers will cut us a deal.
and we got a good response to the letter of interest on the zoning.
Yeah, we
Although
did.
more people were checking it at that time than they might be now, but there are a lot of people that look at it.
Yeah, I think so.
So do you need a motion to approve that, or like,
Yeah. I mean, we approved doing it, we need to approve the language, we just need to,
I think it's fine.
we definitely had a motion.
I think when I voted Thursday, I just wasn't happy with it, so I wanted somebody else to read it. And I got time today to
We'll
look.
find that reading.
Well, I sent it to her, but she never got anything back.
I didn't get my emails straightened out until Friday, and then I emailed her back, and then I got 2 days later I got it, so I
But
was.
anyway, I had more time and was probably a little fresher when I looked at it today. I think I did a better job.
Happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just in a really grumpy mood, I need to have somebody else proofread for the tone. Sometimes. Or if I'm really angry, then I definitely have to sit back and give it a few days or somebody else read it. Not you?
You should see the letters I have written that are still on my computer that never got
They never
sent.
go
I
on,
was
yeah.
gonna say in my
I have
personnel
those.
drawers at Venus, I have several letters that were never mailed or put anywhere.
Yeah.
So I showed them to my boss, and he said, why don't you file that and bring it out in 6 months and see if you still need this?
So did we come to any conclusion on that letter, this letter?
So we have no enforcement responsibility, and it was also sent to the Select Board and the Conservation Commission. So a reminder, as our Conservation Commission liaison is that,
That would be
and
you.
because it deals with Chick Ingerson, if it's discussed, he has to recuse himself from the discussion. Right.
Do you want me to email a copy to the planning board?
That would be great, and then we'll have it. So we
So basically, they're saying that there were wetlands altered.
Yeah. Well, there was terrain altered without permission, and there were wetlands as part of the terrain.
Right.
So we have for the other members of the Conservation Commission, this to go online, do you want to review it and see if you have any
Sure.
edits?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, any corrections or changes, anything? Okay, then it's good to go, Tina. So the Eversource abatement request,
Let's go like the lawyers.
well, I'm thinking we may need to discuss this in non-public session.
Okay.
I mean, they're asking for 50%.
I don't like Eversource.
Yeah,
They're asking for
Forever
money.
and
Abate,
ever.
tax abatement.
yeah.
Ever and ever.
So I think we'll have to have a non-public session to discuss that. Okay, as I was going through the mail, there is, so I have not read it, this is something from the, it deals with the, I think it's a Gilman Hydro, and I haven't read through it, so I'll have to read through it. I think it's an inspection report. So I'm not sure if there's anything we have to do with it or not. Would you like to take that on?
Yeah.
Didn't that,
Hmm?
in response to, didn't we get a notice they were missing that, so now we have it?
Oh, okay, that may be, yes, okay.
Okay, so the only other thing I wanted to say was, we talked about police for the town meeting, whether we need them or don't need them. And you said you could deputize
I could
anybody.
if I mean, Jessie and I talked about it, and she asked me if she thought, if I saw anything that would require a secret ballot, and I said no. And I don't see anything highly controversial that would warrant anybody.
Well, the other thing I wanna say about deputizing just somebody in the yard, you know, I don't think the town wants the liability. And I think that sounds really good, but police are being sued all over the place for things they're trained on. So I think if there is a problem, we dial 911.
I agree with you if there's a significant one, it's just, it clearly states in the authority a moderator has that.
And I get that.
And I can
And I'm
ask-
good with that,
Okay.
but I'm just saying, there are reasons that police officers have certifications.
Yeah, oh, I know.
And I think that if something gets into an altercation, somebody gets hurt, who's liable?
So you can't just have Warren Green come and work?
You'd have to
Usually John-
work.
John Thaw used to, but he's busy with his own.
Oh, okay,
point of
I'm
view
just saying, I think
now.
that sounds really good, but if we have any problems, I think we need to call 911.
Well,
And
sure.
he
If-
has to be authorized by his employer to come here.
Yeah.
He can't
But
just
so-
come
So
on
we
his
can't, we
own.
would have to ask him and pay him and,
Well, sure, no, I
Question is
understand. I mean, it's a town meeting though, I think,
I will have Jessie reach out to, she has a backup somewhere, if that makes you feel. She and
No,
I
I'm just
talked
saying,
about it
I
at
would rather
length.
just call 911 and have a state trooper respond.
Could take them 3 hours if they're up in
I mean, you know,
Pittsburgh.
realistically, in this day and age, you're gonna have, what, 200 people you're estimating there?
Maybe.
You don't know what, I mean, we're talking about taxes and, you know, people are that never come to any meetings and they come and show up and especially if it's after work, they might have had a few. I just think it's better to be safe and, rather than sorry, and bite the bullet and have an officer there. I mean, it just makes sense.
That's
It's a public
choice.
meeting.
I just don't think we should take anybody and say, hey, remove this person, cause
Right,
if there is
that's-
an altercation,
Especially
there
if
will be
people could be armed and,
liability to the
Well,
town.
that's the odd thing, I can't allow anybody in here with campaign clothing, but anybody can walk in carrying.
And I,
well, I know, and that's the point, you don't want someone to say, okay, I'm deputizing you, remove that guy, and that guy's got a gun, and he's been drinking, and his
who
friends
has
are
the
with him.
liability on that?
It just doesn't make sense, I mean, we're talking about these as possibilities, you might as well just have a police officer there.
And I will ask Jesse to
That's,
procure
seems to
one.
me to make the most sense.
It's too bad we're in a culture now where that, we feel like we have to do that.
It's a
I-
crazy
I-
world.
I know, it's just, I mean, look at,
Well, but if
training
you think
that-
about what goes on now, people sue police departments for wrongful death, even
Well,
though
and
that this person came at them with a knife.
You
You
don't
know,
want the-
well,
you don't
no,
want
I'm
the-
not, I'm not, but it's just the fact that we have to be prepared for something that could happen.
Well, that's why with
When
the
there shouldn't be
issue
anything
last
controversial,
summer, we had 2 people, I
Mhm.
had 2 officers.
That
but-
makes
Yeah, but we knew.
Because I knew there was gonna be
Yeah,
somebody getting rowdy.
yeah,
Jesse and I did discuss it a couple times, and she and I both felt we were okay, but if you believe we need,
I don't believe we need, I believe that if we need someone that is certified to do that, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I can't just,
Hey,
Yeah,
I
I just
can
go
go
back
out
and
and play
whack
doctor,
one.
but I could be sued,
I agree with you.
you
I'll
know?
talk to Jesse about it.
yeah. And I'm
That's
not,
unfortunate,
I'm really
too. Everybody
ambivalent
wants
on
to sue
whether we need
everybody
anybody
now.
or not. so.
It's
become
enormously
a-
sad, it's enormously sad.
It's crazy.
You know, you get someone mad, they
That's crazy.
do something, and you got these 3 ladies up here, 4 ladies up here, you're up there, you never know what could happen with crazy people, so,
I know.
you know.
We never gave a second thought to a police officer on an EMS call, now I'll bet
Oh my
25%
God,
of
I
them.
pray every time we go on
It's
those
crazy.
weird out,
People-
whacked out
people are
calls.
weird.
That's, you know, it's just,
I'm
I
gonna just
don't know,
try to
it's
keep us
changed.
moving along, because we do have, there's some stuff in this pile of mail that we will need to talk
It's
about.
changed.
So I'm not sure what to do about this
Me
scholarship
neither.
awards program, I don't know why we got it,
I guess if there's somebody in,
because it's for students.
Solid
Solid
or
waste.
somebody who has a degree in town that wants to go on and
What is it?
the swing.
It's
Oh,
a solid waste
I was
association.
I was just trying to figure out, I'll put it
Post
on
it, I
a
think.
bulletin board, or the table out here. I probably should email it to White Mountain Regional High School.
Oh, that'd be good.
They probably have it, but
No, not necessarily, sometimes these things don't go to
Yeah,
schools and they
that would be
don't.
good.
But I just wanted you to be aware of it, and I think that's all I'm gonna do is put it out. And if, I don't know, I suppose if you can put your one copy at the transfer station,
Yeah,
since it deals with that.
yeah.
So if
You want me
somebody
to
could
give-
take their copy and put it
You
in
want
the
to put this
transfer
at the
station.
transfer station?
Sure.
Posted? Thank you. This I don't know that everybody has, it's just regarding the welfare issues, so,
Get rid of it.
you want this back?
What is it?
It's,
Oh, that's the lawyer, from the lawyer,
yeah,
yeah, I think we need to talk about it.
in non-public, okay.
well, this is for basically having an interest in solid waste management.
where'd that
Which
come
is
from?
actually a good paying profession, but, you know,
And I realize that, and that there are, Kyle, there's Robbie, but Robbie doesn't live in Dalton, so I guess, but
And I
he
thought it
gets
Kyle, but then it's students, so,
But
is it there,
if you read undergraduate or graduate programs in Hupkey,
and these are college programs.
so,
yeah,
you know, it sounds like Kyle, who's never had any training,
if he could participate in something like that, that'd be great.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
he's not a student,
But I don't think he'd be going to a graduate
Yeah.
program.
right,
That not that he couldn't, but.
Right, but he's
I
working
suspect at
2
this
jobs
stage of
and-
his life, he probably.
working 2 jobs and.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a notification from FEMA that they are, and I just skimmed through this before the meeting, they have their risk mapping, the assessment and planning risk for the floodplain. So we are part of that, we saw that email last fall.
Yep.
So I believe that this is just notification that they are going and updating the maps. And there is a session, an information session on it. They call it a discovery session. There are 2 watersheds here that are part of this.
Don't we have all of that in the mitigation plan? The water.
So I think this is
There is some
updating
in there, I
those,
don't know if it's
those
the
plans,
same.
it's done periodically. Maybe we could all get copies of this, Tina? Yep. And there is a meeting, an informational meeting Wednesday, April 1st at 1:30 in Middleton. And Ron gets it,
I got a
Yeah.
copy of it.
and Carl with the planning board.
I'm pretty sure, Scott Olson,
With SGS,
yep, and I've seen,
yeah.
I already got a
This,
copy.
this
I
is
know
just,
you have.
it's an audit checklist.
Okay,
That's what they use to evaluate it.
for the,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So it's nothing that we need to.
No, it's just basically said, this is what we audit, this is what we check, this would be an example of a positive finding and a negative finding.
Okay,
Okay, so I can just file that away.
Yep.
okay. Thank you. All right. So, here's another one, I'll make a copy. I've got a letter from the office of the governor about a municipal energy plan that he has, which,
Oh, yeah, we all got that.
okay,
He's trying to push his
his
project.
plan, and I don't know enough about it to know whether this is really a good thing for renewable energy and
Yeah,
things
I
or
know.
not. I'd have to do more, I just don't have a.
You can always look at the municipal law and see what they think,
Yeah,
and then decide the opposite.
I don't always agree with their opinion.
No, I don't either. Speak
I did not agree with their opinion on the last.
Yeah,
the,
oh, yeah. Well, they don't,
Yeah.
like, what I don't like is they don't sign it, they don't say who's writing it.
So they have 2 things.
It's like,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, so I couldn't figure out what this was, but I assumed it was pro-business, not pro-us.
From the governor?
Yeah.
You know, he talks about, and I skimmed it just before the meeting,
Well,
so I haven't digested it.
I think based on what I've read before, it says that he's, like, they're limiting how much people can keep of their, the cap of how much.
It's a
they-
net metering thing,
Right.
so I know he hasn't been a proponent of letting you sell
Right.
energy back to the grid.
Right.
And I'm not sure what this means, what this letter means regarding it.
It's not opposed, he's just opposed to, making more money than everybody else. You know, that you get a bonus if you sell your own energy. Which means I pay more because I have to buy the electricity and then the higher cost isn't clean. That's what he's opposed to.
Yeah, but
But
then you're
that-
paying the
you're
cost of
assuming-
having the
Solar.
solar panels too.
With a
Right.
huge credit usually to install it. Tax
I
credit.
don't know that it covers the cost.
Well, I know, I'm just
Yeah.
stating a little bit of the other.
Yeah, the
Other
other
side
side,
of it.
which is good, and that's where I really don't have enough knowledge to just.
And I don't think you have to do anything with it.
I don't think we have to. The other thing we have is, from the Department of Transportation, they've tentatively identified state roads for paving this year.
And I have sent copies of all that to Bob.
Okay, so I don't know that we need to do
I
anything
don't
with
either,
this.
I think it's just for information, so you're aware of, because there are some roads in Dalton, 135 is getting paved.
That would be
And
good.
as I drove around it today, I said, no, if they're just gonna pave it, it's not gonna help.
they do that all the time, they paved
Because
it,
it's
what, 2 years
another
ago?
year.
Lost there with a
the
fire
crossings are gonna
truck
be
the
just
other
as
day,
bad.
and we couldn't do over 5 miles an hour responding to a structure fire, it was so rough.
I followed an
It
oil
was
tanker
horrible,
to work
Which one,
last week.
135?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh, it's like a-
unbelievable.
Yeah,
It was thrashing that truck so bad, it was like, and we just crawling across it.
I was following an oil tanker that was doing the same thing, crawling, and I didn't mind, because it's so bumpy, it's just not worth. Some guy asked the two of us, on the yellow line. So then the oil tanker pulled over, so I could go by him.
No.
But it's not just 135,
that's-
like, in
Oh.
town, Whitefield, around the commons
Yes,
breaking
that's
up,
what that email, yeah.
um,
Yeah, but
It's
that's
basically-
going up
But
I
Route
wanna
3,
bring it up.
halfway into, just about, before you get to Corrigan, is rough.
with the frost heaves, and there's a couple places that are just.
Madam
horrendous.
Chairman,
There's-
where's your
There's about
gavel?
50 feet that,
Unbelievable.
go
for it.
So then, and I did not get all the way through this pile, so every year the DOT solicits specific data from the state's municipalities to facilitate and coordinate program and project communications. So this is a municipal single audit report.
I'm pretty sure I gave a copy of that to Bob also.
Okay, and there's updating town officials.
And also there's a copy of both of those sitting in the police chief's email folder, which hasn't been touched for
Okay,
several weeks.
email folder or regular?
His
His
mailbox.
Okay. So I think Bob would be better served to,
Well, and he does, I'll give all of
Okay.
that to Bob, because I figured it really does, but I'm trying to inform you guys.
okay. So we also have a letter from Casella to the Dalton Selectboard members. And I should probably get copies of it for you, but I might as well read it too. It is of course a public document. In the interest of a transparent and collaborative process, I am writing to give you an update on our progress as it pertains to the potential development of a new state-of-the-art landfill in the industrial area on the outskirts of Dalton. I would also like to provide a clearer understanding of who we are as a company, our commitment to serving New Hampshire, and how we share the value created by a facility like this. Casella Waste Systems was founded in Rutland, Vermont in 1975 with a single pickup truck and a determination to find ways to minimize and eventually eliminate the environmental impacts my brother and I had seen from the mismanagement of solid waste over the years. Just 2 years after that, we built and began operations at Vermont's first recycling facility. Now, 45 years later, after learning and growing with the communities we serve, our company is among the leaders in waste reduction, reuse, and recycling throughout the northeastern United States and beyond. Today, we serve more than 50,000 households and 5,500 businesses across 150 towns and cities in New Hampshire through collection, transfer, recycling, and waste disposal operations that annually manage 250,000 tons of waste, recycling, and organics produced by New Hampshire residents. We are proud to directly employ more than 175 people across our New Hampshire operations, providing an annual payroll that exceeds $10 million. Status of the Dalton Landfill Project. Development of a new landfill is a long and very involved process. After searching for several years for land that meets the suitability criteria, we entered into an agreement with Doug Ingerson and his companies, giving us an option to purchase part of their land in Dalton. We chose the site because it is already being used for industrial purposes, is accessible but remote, and it is screened from area residences by hills and forests. After we reached the agreement with Mr. Ingerson, we hired independent wetland scientists, engineers, and hydrologists to quote-unquote characterize the site. This simply means that these experts study both the surface of the land and the soils and groundwater beneath the surface to understand current conditions and find out whether placing a landfill on the site is consistent with state and federal regulations. That work is nearly complete and thus far has shown the site to be suitable. Sharing with you. Recognizing that the community in which we develop a landfill can experience impacts such as increased traffic that other towns that benefit from the landfill's existence do not, it is a standard industry practice to share some of the economic benefit from the landfill directly with the facility's host community. To the town of Dalton, assuming a landfill of at least 120 acres, we will provide payments totaling $166,667 per month, which adds up to $2 million per year in property taxes and host community benefits for at least 25 years as long as the landfill is operating. We will also provide free pickup and disposal of household solid waste and recyclables for residences, single-family, multiple-family, and rental properties, commercial properties, and town buildings, as well as free access to a transfer station at the landfill site for residents of the town to dispose of solid waste, except for construction and demolition debris. Moving forward together. Unfortunately, due to certain disruptive influences in the town, we have not had the opportunity to introduce ourselves to the board. It is our hope that you will provide a balanced year and understand the facts about our company, the benefits to your constituents, and our commitment to the health and safety of the people we serve. We have learned over the years that the loudest voices in a community do not always represent the will or temperament of the majority of its residents. I sincerely hope that we can count on you to weigh this opportunity carefully and consider what it will mean to the majority of your residents rather than the loudest. I look forward to continued productive discussion and a bright future of collaboration and shared value. Sincerely, Casella Waste Systems, signed by John Casella, Chairman and CEO.
Did that say only New Hampshire waste?
Those were the and I have not I just opened this up before the meeting, so I did not see it to check figures.
And I believe you've invited him to attend one of the meetings, have you?
He has come to the meetings and presented.
Has he?
Yeah,
What
they
about-
came without being invited, but we let them present, they talked, there was a discussion. We had
It doesn't say
talked about.
only, it just says produced by New Hampshire residents.
Right, I mean, that may, I don't, have not, as I say, I just opened that up before the meeting, so.
Well, he sent out a flyer, you know,
Right.
these were some of the questions that I was asking. So, $166,000, how much ton of trash is that? If they can afford to pay that much.
Well, those are all questions that,
Well, it sounds like they're asking you for permission just to even talk to you, so.
well, and I think as a select board, you know, we can't stop somebody from talking to us.
No.
I'm just saying, that's the way the letter sounds. It
That's
sounds
what
like
I say,
they're-
and I do take a little bit of offense because we have talked with them.
And since,
Mhm.
and since that meeting, because since I've been here, because they haven't been at a meeting I've been at.
No, it
Did
was
we ever
before you
get
were
the
here, but-
recording?
But since then, you have responded to something saying that you know, come and talk to us, come and tell us, come and bring that video that we haven't
Yes,
got yet.
We have
you know.
not gotten that yet.
So,
The video that they took to.
so in other words, saying that you won't because of disruptive forces is not a valid statement.
But what is interesting is that they characterize that area as in industrial use. That's just because Doug Ingerson says it's an industrial park, but if you look at that entire footprint where they're planning to site the landfill, it's all forested. So the fact that they're leading with that and mischaracterizing the area, it's, to me as a resident of Dalton, it's kind of an insulting letter, but I'd love
And
a
I
copy
guess
of that
my
if I
question would
could.
be, is it just New Hampshire trash that's coming here?
We know it's not.
$166,000 just to us monthly.
So I,
Says to me that that's just a small piece. They're gonna make money to pay their employees. This trash is coming out of other states, and there is no absolute way to police all of that.
You can't because it's that, and
It's
you,
the
John, you
Interstate
probably know,
Commerce Clause.
it's under the federal Interstate Commerce Commission,
Right.
regulate that. And I don't know who I was talking to about this subject, but they said Casella can pay that much money because they make billions taking the trash from New Jersey and Connecticut and bringing it up here. That's where they make their money, and that's how they can afford to
Cause I
be
I
so
have to-
generous.
If they actually pay it, because if you ask Bethlehem, if you asked Southbridge, they have not ever
Well, I
followed
heard they
through.
got out of there for disruptive behavior. People, that they didn't have to pay because people were against them.
so I think,
I just think that's,
Emily Sheltree or Emily.
she calls me every single time.
Can I get a copy of that?
yes, I mean.
I just think that's a huge amount of trash
So I think this is
that will
really,
be there.
And plus, if you go based
this
on,
is too soon to act
right, or no,
one way or another,
Right.
because they don't have an actual,
There's no
they're not
permit.
requesting
with
anything, they're
DES,
just,
right?
right, right.
That's correct.
this is more,
And frankly, their stage 6 expansion permit was denied last month in Bethlehem because according to DES, they did not meet the public benefit aspect because there already is existing landfill capacity in the state for New Hampshire waste. So that's why they were denied. So a landfill at Forest Lake is certainly not going to meet that standard because Carberry has approximately 37 years of capacity. just saying. But yes, there's no permit on file.
There's no permit on file. So I think there's,
Because
no
there's two
action
companies in town, in
for
the
us, I
state.
mean, this will be something that they would have to put for a zoning application.
Right, well, they're just saying, right,
Right,
be open-minded,
exactly.
that's all they're asking.
Right, which I think as a select board, we should, because we do represent all of the people in town, and there are differences of opinions, so.
Plus, you already saw, what, 2 months ago,
$166,000 a month would be great, but I don't wanna have to have that much trash in my.
thank you so much. You
Even-
saw 2
I
months
think
ago.
even
Above the
think-
notches.
So,
It doesn't
so I think
belong
there are
in
some
there.
other things, if we're even considering that, we have to look at the request for tax abatements because property values go down, which, communities surrounding Carberry are experiencing right now. I was a little bit concerned because Colebrook is looking at their old municipal landfill, and they have test wells, and it's been closed for years, but they may have to do remediation because of PFAS chemicals. So I'm worried about the long-term consequences
Right.
and having the resources that would be needed as well, and I don't think that, you know, $2 million per year covers that long-range remediation of things like PFAS chemicals or the chemicals that have not been
Right.
identified. So I think this
Looking
is
into there now, right now, Colebrook?
Colebrook, they're old, it was in the record this weekend,
The Caledonia record?
the free one. I can bring a copy next
Is
week.
it the one that's out on the?
Yeah, it is, this
They
week's,
didn't got very many copies off this time, or somebody picked up, there's only like 3 left.
okay.
The, last last month they had their quarterly earnings call. And there's 2 towns that have been impacted that, one is a Superfund site, it's a Superfund B site, it's Potsdam, New York. And it was interesting, because then that made me look for a news article on that situation, and it's amazing, but not only did the Casella representative there, they're seeking a tax abatement because they're getting ready to close it. So this, on the conference call, they talked about, they're getting that landfill site and Southbridge off of their books this year, and then they're done, they're leaving them behind, and they're both Superfund sites.
Beautiful.
And so Potsdam, they're asking for a tax abatement because in the words of the Casella representative, it's worthless property, that and the surrounding wetlands, and they don't feel that they should be paying that amount of tax on that land as a result. And we've seen the stories from Southbridge, it's the same thing. So it's,
Onions off it and then walk up.
Well,
So I mean, if
our daughter lives in Potsdam,
We've
and I
been to
can
that
tell
one.
you, she works at Clarkson, and you can still smell
Mhm.
from where, and they're at least 3 or 4 miles away from it, but they're also being charged more because, they have to buy their bags, they pay more than Dalton does for their bags, because they need to pay the employees to pick it up. So,
I haven't seen where Bethlehem's got any huge advantage out of it. All the town officials over there are trying to get money to operate their departments, the same as everybody else, so. I
And
know
then
the
what
fire
happens too is
chief
if
over
you
there
actually
is.
do
but
get the
no,
money,
here
you
we
kind
are,
of
we're
get,
gonna,
you
we're
get,
gonna
it's
close
like being
those
on
two
crack,
and
and then
just
it's gonna
move
go
on.
away in 2 years, and they're gonna have to figure
The
out.
fire
what they're
chief's in
doing
the same
around
situation we are. He got the same free air packs we did that didn't
And
work
that's-
out.
that's
They
actually a
can't
good
afford to
point.
replace them.
because that letter, they talk about 25 years worth of payments. Bethlehem, 61 acres, it's taken 25 years to fill. So that's 25 years in Bethlehem, so let's use that as an average. So 180 acre 3-phase landfill over there, that's 75 years worth of life on what they're currently taking into Bethlehem, and they're only offering 25 years? I mean, that's what's amazing too, because that is their future.
Okay, so are they
So-
not responsible for cleaning their own, like,
When they're done, they're done. It's a piece of land that,
Well, that's where, I mean, if we went down this road, I would see this as the bare bones beginning of negotiation, because I think there's a whole lot more to be considered.
well, sure.
But it's not really even a negotiation, what they're saying
it's
is, it's like, that's what they're saying, that they would pay in taxes, they're not saying, that's a hypothetical right now, you don't know what they're gonna pay in taxes. And like every other place they've been in, they've gone for abatements, so that's just a
And it's combination property taxes and host community benefits,
And
which
Bethlehem
can
has
be
never
to
gotten.
things that,
That's to their interpretation.
Right.
right.
If
So
you
no,
pay,
I
well,
mean, so, in my mind, I mean, I think that we owe it to be open, just, you know, to any, you know,
Okay.
if they wanna come and
I
talk
thought
about
we were
their,
gonna get both, our trash picked out and,
but, I mean, I think
and free
there's a lot,
access.
a lot that they have to be held, or anybody in this
I think you need to
situation.
use this as a starting place to get arguments and questions for them, because there'll be lots of hearings.
well, I don't
They
think
would
we
be
really
like,
have to,
right.
Rob, I really don't think we have to do anything until they have a permit, they have a permit request.
No, I know, but they're giving you a heads up, basically.
Right,
of
they're being
what
transparent.
information you need to know so that you can challenge them. Not
Yeah.
now, but at some point, you need to start looking at what are the answers, what's true, what's half true, you
Right.
know,
Right,
and be prepared to challenge them.
right. And, I mean, there's really not much to do until
Right.
there's an application for a permit to DES, and they have to come to us. We have emergency temporary zoning.
I think what they're doing is just trying to play nice.
Well, they're trying to
Right.
buy
They're
people
just, yeah, and
that are
just
on the wall.
responding by saying, we got your letter, we appreciate your offer to come and explain it, and maybe at a more appropriate time, we will certainly meet with you.
I don't think we need to respond.
I
We
think you
can
need to
think about
respond
it. I don't think
somehow.
you need to answer tonight.
Well, look what they did with Mr. Mooney.
Yeah, that was.
They threw him under the bus. They came with that offer to the town, and then they totally backpedaled on it because of the optics on it. I mean, frankly, this is pretty much the exact same letter that Jeff Weld, their outreach person, sent to all the state legislators last week because of the two bills we have at the,
I mean, I still have that letter.
committee.
I mean, I talked to Don Mooney when, he came and offered all kinds of money to the fire department. And then the same week in the paper, it was,
We don't do things like that.
it was.
And there was an email from his employee, John
Mhm.
Casella's employee, so,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, that
Boy.
it just
doesn't
seems to be
lead
how they
one to
operate.
have a lot of faith in offers.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, he wanted to talk to you. He knows your schedule
That
tonight.
was
He
not
could have come
good.
in. Because they've come before.
They can set up a meeting and come to the select board meeting.
And if they want a special one, all they have to do is ask.
Yeah. Or they
Why not?
want to notify it, have it on the agenda ahead of time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we want an additional one
You know,
for them.
No, but it
it's
means,
not worth my money.
You might need a police officer then because of the rabble rousers in town.
that he brings, it's his supporters that are the battle.
You know, it's,
Except for John.
it's going to be, a situation that will take a lot of thoughtful conversations. And I think as a board, we need to really understand that there are two perspectives here and be willing to listen and to try to be as fair as we can while protecting the best interests of the town going forward.
Still gonna boil down to the people in the end.
I'm sorry?
The people of the town in the end will have the say.
Well, I mean, let's look
Yeah.
at what the planning board's doing in accordance with the town's master plan that was developed in 2013. The master plan, with input from the citizens, basically says that they want to protect the rural nature of Dalton, or preserve the rural nature of Dalton, and protect from unwanted development. So it's completely in line with what the people and the input and everything that's being put together.
Mhm.
So I don't think,
And that was way before they
way
had the
before
idea
this,
of
way
this
before
all
this. So
about.
this isn't anything crazy.
No,
I mean, just like the people in Littleton, they had that, they wanted to put that big battery park in.
they had
And they came before the zoning board of adjustments. And, I think I worked with a lot of people who were neighbors to that, and they were up in arms, and they just asked the zoning board, why are you even talking to them? And they're like, we have to, this is part of the process, we have to hear, even though we don't want it. Because if you don't go through the due process, they'll just sue you.
exactly, and that's what I'm
So-
trying to, we have to have due process.
I know, but I just feel like the North Country, between Northern Pass, the battery thing.
Right.
The North Country just is like, nobody cares, but people come up here to vacation to get out of all of that stuff. But yet now they want
Right.
Well, it's because they don't think we're smart enough to deal with them. They think we're a bunch of hicks that are.
Well, it's the
That's not true.
Well, I mean, even the same with like some of the stuff going on with the, tax abatements for utilities. They're just continually hammering us because they know we don't have money. I mean, it's almost like we're being harassed.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, we have two issues to deal with in non-public session.
I have a couple quick things.
Okay.
Number one, you asked about recording a meeting and then transcribing the minutes from the tape.
Mhm.
And I asked NHMA about it. And the response is, using a tape recording of a meeting to create meeting minutes is perfectly permissible. I assume this would mean the minute taker would not be present during the meeting, which is not necessarily true. If that were the case, the public body would need to ensure that whenever a person spoke, that person would first state their name. It would also be necessary for the chair of the meeting to ensure the name of each person who made a motion and who seconded each motion was repeated verbally for recording on the tape.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was that. I got a notice from Primex, they're having a training on labor laws and required posters and consequences if you don't post them and post them appropriately. In addition, each participant will receive a full set of the most up-to-date labor law posters. It is being held March 17th from 9 to 12 in Concord, the training facility. It's on Tuesday. I would not mind going if you want me to go to it. I haven't asked yet whether you get posters even if you don't go, and whether they have what do you call it, a printout of the presentation.
Yeah.
A lot of times they do.
Who is our Primex
Pardon?
contact? Who is our Primex contact?
I can't remember right off the top of my head. I've got it in my computer.
Because, the fire department wants to do training, and Primex has a driving training and a flaggers training that I need to call and set up. If I can get her name or his name. It was done through Primex years ago, but
It
we
was
need.
done through New Hampshire Municipal, but I'm sure Primex has, they're great on training stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Those
they.
insurance
Well,
companies are
after-
great for that.
So
Me and
you're
Chester's
looking
big
for
truck
a-
accident.
Drivers training for, like, fire trucks?
They
and
usually
stuff?
do emergency.
Yeah, if you just
We
give
do
me
that
her
every few
name or
years.
their name,
Yeah, I
I
was
will
just gonna say,
call.
I can email it to you.
And then flagging and that type of
CC
stuff.
you on it, so you-
Well, I wanna set it up for the fire department
Well, I
training.
wasn't gonna set it up, I was just gonna find out, do you have it and how
They must
often
have a
do you-
training
They do have a
division.
training, I was gonna talk to her about what details, if we would even go with them.
They must have a training division.
Yeah,
I think,
I
of
believe
some
they do.
kind. Yeah.
If you just wanna give me her name out.
They usually
How?
do, it's pretty good, usually good classes for free
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, it's
It's
usually
free?
free,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
well.
It always was, yeah.
We
A
have
real
new-
good deal.
Okay.
What is the cost of the training on the 17th?
It's free.
Fine.
I mean, it seems like it would be good, I mean, because there are certain requirements for posting, I mean, safety and
And
other things.
then, as part of their spiel, as you do, you get tons of ads saying, buy this, it'll cover your liability.
Because we do a lot of department.
They're not
we
cheap,
do a lot of labor law stuff.
so if you're gonna get these for free,
I get tons of.
and know that they're
safety
the
stuff
standard
and
for
training.
New Hampshire,
We've had to go the labor law, we had to go the labor law.
And, you know, we talked back a while ago, there are a couple things,
so do you want a copy of that, or,
if you, would you like to go, if you could go, that would be.
yeah, I think
What date is it?
Tuesday, March 17th. I can also ask if they have the,
Webinar?
what do they call it?
A webinar or the slides, PowerPoint.
The slide PowerPoint, thank you, and can I get them posters of outlaw?
So this feeds into, a few months ago, maybe before you came in, we talked about a safety committee.
We need to start doing that, find
That's
out.
required by law.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah, and it's
Hasn't
we're
been,
been
2
done
years
for
behind
years.
that. What?
Hasn't been done for quite a while. They got fined big time on it the last time, I think.
so,
I know they went to court over it one time because they didn't do it.
so we need to start
Who's
that.
they?
The town,
No,
the town got nailed for not having
So,
safety meetings and stuff.
yeah, because we had to do with the schools and stuff, and
Mhm.
pain in the,
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
it's fairly simple, but you have to have it, minutes and everything that you,
and you have
That
to
you
have,
did it,
have a
yes.
policy laid
Yeah.
out and stuff, because I
Yeah,
had to draw that up.
do we have a committee appointed now, or do we need to?
what it was before was basically the department heads. Boiled down to the department heads and the town officials, is what it amounted to.
And the whole board, or just?
No,
No,
one
a
for-
representative,
So-
yeah, from the board. I think Jesse was there, and Bob, myself, John Thal, if he's, whatever going on there, I don't know, but, and then mainly all the department heads, because it kind of deals with your department, like the fire department's issues and the highways issues, and you just have to address all that and have policies and have minutes that you held a meeting. I think you're supposed to do it like every
Four a year.
quarter, I
I
think.
think you can have 4 a year.
Yeah.
I don't think it absolutely has to be every quarter, but it has to be 4 a year.
Yeah, and it has to be, there has to be minutes. There's somebody from the labor board came in the last time and they couldn't produce the minutes and,
They can't now.
yeah, it got real,
So, we're probably too late for 2019, but if we could get on track for this year, is that something you could take on? You would be willing to take on, Carol?
Yeah, I have,
Or would you like to?
I might not even get reelected.
I think most of them
Forgot about that
were,
little
they were like
thing
an
that
hour or
happens.
so with that. They were fairly
Yeah,
simple,
no.
but it just met the requirements and it was
The
I
pretty,
hardest
have to
part
do
is,
it.
if you got the manual made up, that's
for
the
the month
hardest.
of
Yes.
March, I know that
Yep.
I
And
have
that's
Mondays
done.
and Tuesday off,
Yep.
but then I
Yep.
think I go to night, 3 to 11, so.
well, we can
Then-
work around whatever. We used to just schedule a meeting based on availability and
Okay.
whatever, but,
I'll send out. I'll
So
send
can
out,
you and Ron work on coordinating that and?
I mean, it was pretty simple. We used to stop and grab a box of donuts and some coffee.
Can you maybe send everybody, including me, a copy of the manual?
If I can find it.
Is it electronic?
I think
What is it?
there's a manual
There
that
has to be a safety manual,
Yeah.
that's the
Oh, I have it
hardest.
on my
Jesse,
phone.
yeah, Jesse had a copy of it too. I think she was doing the minutes and everything
Well,
at
I
the
can look
time,
through her stuff, yeah.
so, but, so whoever's gonna do the minutes, it has to be somebody that does the minutes
Yeah.
of the meeting and whatever.
Okay. All right.
But we can do that, it'd be pretty simple. We should do it because at least if they show up and we made an attempt again, we might,
Yeah, sorry,
It
we
is
had a new
doing
board.
we might be okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do we have anything else before we go to non-public?
I did get a, sort of an application for a debit card from Pasumsic. I don't know if there's anything you want to do. Why don't I copy it and email it to you, and you can kind of, it doesn't say a whole lot, but we have to decide who you want to be a signer
Okay,
on the card.
okay.
So
Why,
something to think
why
about.
is the town going for a credit card when all these years they've never dealt with one?
Because that way we could use it for purchases like at Staples instead of having to do reimbursements.
Yeah, we've done, I mean, I've done a ton of reimbursements
When
through
you
the
get an
years of
emergency
paying.
call at 6 o'clock saying you've gotta put somebody up in a hotel and you don't have a card,
And you used yours,
I
personal
used my
credit card.
personal.
Yeah.
But then I made sure the police officer had the seal, that I didn't want this person to have my credit card information.
Whitefield always had one when I was
Yeah.
there. They always
The
had
only
one.
thing is
Judy
normally
Ramsdell
the
had
select
control
board
of
would
it. You had
not
to
be
go and, you know,
signing
Sign it
the
out.
the
card.
actual, but,
I
yeah.
don't care who's the signer, I don't even, I just
No,
want,
I know, but you have to get somebody up who could sign it at the time to,
you know, even though I
Whitefield's
got
is the
reimbursed, I just don't
assistant,
want
so-
my credit card being,
yeah.
You
No, I
use
no, I
that.
understand, but that's, that's a consideration. Do you want a member, all members of the select board to sign it? I don't think that's a normal.
No, I don't think so.
I think you should have one person, two people.
I think usually the administrative assistant,
Yeah.
because technically we should
works
be
for me.
contacted during business
Well,
hours for
the other
those
thing would be
issues,
the
right?
department heads,
And
so
department
they
heads,
could
right?
go.
No, we had to go too. It was the selectman's assistant in Whitefield, and if we needed to use it, we could just go to them.
Right,
And
Do you want to reach out to Whitefield
it
and
should be
ask
just
for
one person.
guidance on how they do it?
There are a lot of issues with them,
Yes.
How to
especially,
reconcile.
especially reconciling, because
Yes.
people do not give you the receipts.
It has,
Well,
I
but I
think
know
it should be
Judy
one
Ramsel
person.
always kept it, and
Yes,
you would go to her and say, I need to order this,
she had
and
total
she
control of
would
it.
either order it for you or,
Yeah, but you were talking about taking it to Home Depot and using it there.
no, I was talking about getting a Home Depot card for the fire department.
Oh, we can do that.
I don't want a credit card, I want a Home Depot card for
No,
the,
that's a credit card.
but we've been
Yeah,
doing our own, spending our own, and then
Yeah.
getting reimbursed.
but anyway, I'll email.
No, I want the
I
credit.
wasn't real pleased with the subject's response, quite frankly,
Well,
because
I
asked
just
her-
want a credit card that can be used for those emergency situations.
Yeah, no, I understand why. I
Putting
mean,
somebody up in a hotel at the last minute or something. Yeah.
but again, you got whoever, if the administrative
I
assistant.
thought we
is
had a
the-
Staples card, credit card.
I could not get it to work, and I called the people and they couldn't help me at Staples. I don't know whether Jesse still could get it to work now or not, but
Did you ask Jesse? Okay.
I don't remember. I think I did, but I haven't even dealt with it for a couple of months, so.
We'll find out from Jesse if it
Because
doesn't
I
work.
have her
then.
password and everything, and I've tried it, and I can't make it work.
I mean, my regular vendors, I have accounts set up with them, so it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
an
well,
issue.
that's
And that's
different.
what most places will do, is they'll set up an account and bill the
Set up a
town.
blanket order.
But but the stuff like what you ran into would be perfect for that.
Unless you have a pre-arrangement with Hotel X.
Well,
That
that
didn't
would
work.
work if this Hotel X person was allowed to go do some of them. But there are some of them that will not take him.
No.
And you might have places that are booked when it comes up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anything else?
So anything that we do on the posters, I'll find out whether, and then we'll deal with it next week.
Okay.
Whether they'll just give it to us without a scope.
Right. I make a motion that we go into non-public session to deal with a welfare and a legal issue.
A second motion.
All in favor?
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night.
Night.
Hope you all feel better.